Okay, welcome Jenna from BrandWave. Jenna's going to be going over the Go High Level platform of her BrandWave for events. So Jenna, go ahead and show us what you got.
Awesome, cool. All right, so just to give you guys a little bit of background information, what BrandWave is, as Susan said, is a white labeled version of Go High Level. I come from almost 20 years in the event industry. I've done corporate, I've done social, I've been a planner, I've worked with venues, I have done all of the things in the event space. And there truly just hasn't been one great solution out there to put everything in one place for you. There's Dubsado, there's HoneyBook, there's TripleSeat, there's Cvent, but they all require, then you need MailChimp for email, or then you need a separate invoicing platform, depending on what you're using. So my goal was to find one way to put everything in one place to really simplify operating a venue, streamline your bookings, to bring in more leads, to put all your marketing tools in one place. Because running a venue is hard enough without, duct taping together 15 different subscription tools. I took Go High Level and I have built it out to be really unique for event venues. So I'll walk you through some of the features that are specifically customized and really relevant for venues in general. Some of these obviously are marketing tools and things like that. But I'll walk you through some of the specific customizations and ways that you can kind of leverage this platform and get rid of hopefully a bunch of other things that you're subscribing to. So we're going to start essentially, if you were to log in, this would be your dashboard. And this is essentially like your main screen, everything that you would want to know about your leads, about your booked events can all go on this dashboard. And what's great is that it's entirely customizable. If there are things that are more important to you, like maybe you want to know more about your Google business profile and your Google Analytics, you want to know more about your opportunities, we can rearrange this to meet whatever is important to you to see at a glance. So I kind of got it organized in this demo account based on dollars in and pipeline stages, but again, we can change it and we can add things here too. So if social is important to you, we can add that here. So this is your main screen. This is your command center. It makes it really easy to look at a glance. Everything you have going on, you'll see, your conversion rate, how much money you've got coming in, what's on the pipeline that might be coming in. Everything you need is right here. So this is your dashboard screen. And then over here on the left, this is really where you navigate everything. So I always say this top part, everything kind of above this line, these are your operational tools. These are your things that are for booking, for invoicing, conversations. It's your CRM tools essentially. And then everything down here below this line is your marketing tools essentially. So it's an easy way to kind of, when you're looking for, what you need to kind of remember it. So I'm just going to go through one by one and show you kind of all of the different features of each, just kind of at a high level overview. So to the conversations tab, this is essentially, and this is a demo account, so there's none in here. Let me switch over to a different one so I can show you some actual live. Okay, here we go. So what's great about this conversations tab is this is a unified inbox. And what that means is that any way that a lead is going to reach out to you, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a text message, email, even a Facebook DM, an Instagram DM, it all populates into that person's contact record in one thread. So say a lead reaches out via text, and then, or their initial inquiry is an Instagram DM, and then they text you because they've booked the tour, you're going to see all of that in their contact record. So it makes it way easier to keep track of the conversations that you're having and know exactly what's happening with that client, how they've interacted. It even shows you pages that they visited on your website, any kind of, once they're in your system, once they've interacted with your website or you in any way, they go into the CRM automatically, and you can follow anything that they essentially do, page views, stuff like that. So that's really a valuable tool. And this unified inbox, there's not really anything else like it out there on the market that pulls from every source that someone might contact you from. So this is a really big feature that I want to point out. It does have a missed call text back feature in it as well. So like in this particular scenario, they got a call into their phone number, they didn't answer, they got this automatic, we're sorry we missed your call, you can email us here. It's got the legality, stop to unsubscribe. There's also voice AI agents. These are getting better and better by the day, and you can set those up to really take those calls and filter through, particularly if you get a lot of spam calls or calls that you don't want, you can get rid of, disqualifying people that you don't actually want to talk to pretty easily. This is a really great feature. Anyone that interacts with you in any way, it's all going to come into this unified inbox. So that's a really powerful tool. All right, I'm going to switch back to my main demo screen real quick. All right, so then moving on, calendars. So obviously we run event venues, we live and die by event calendars, tour calendars, everything. This is a super, super important feature. This platform has an extremely robust calendaring system. So I'm going to show you, this is what the back end looks like. This is how you set it up. I've got this one set up, an event calendar that would be your actual booked events, and then also a tour calendar. You can keep those separate, but they will not overwrite each other. So if there are events booked in the space, obviously it won't let you book a tour or vice versa. So great opportunities here to see exactly what's on your calendar, whether it's a tour, whether it's an event. If you're holding the space for a load-in or something like that, you can put all of that on your calendar. One of my favorite features in here is that you can separate it by room. So if you're operating a big venue and you've got multiple rooms within your venue, or maybe you need to hold like a conference room or a bridal suite, you can put in your capacity, you can associate it with different services, and you can block off just that space. So if the whole venue isn't rented, if only a portion of it is, you can notate that within the system. There's also equipment in here. So if you are providing equipment in your venue, you have add-on packages, maybe AV, maybe chairs, tables, all of that can go in here, and it works just like an inventory system. We can put the amount of quantity that you've got in there, and once you book it on the calendar, it's going to take that amount out of your inventory, so you'll know exactly what you've got available and when. This service menu, again, same thing. If you've got decor packages, maybe you offer a DJ, photography packages, we can create this service menu, and when they go to book, they can book everything all in one spot, or you can assign a decor package, you can assign equipment to that calendar booking, and then again, it takes it out of your inventory if that's something that you've got, and it will all show in that clean calendar record as well. So, contact record. So this is a huge feature. There are so many ways to customize these calendars and make them really robust for your venue, and they can connect to your Google Calendar, your Outlook calendar. You can set your own availability. You can set preferences for, like, if you want to book tours and you want a 30-minute window in between tours, we can customize all of that. So extremely robust calendar feature. And this is one of the things that I think makes this such a good system for events. And I have pre-built a lot of these calendars that kind of mimic how a pretty traditional venue operates. So it's pretty easy to onboard and customize to your venue based on what I've already built out in here. So that's calendars. Contacts. Same thing. These are, your list of people. This is where you can organize lists. You can add tags if you want to tag somebody as a bride or a lead or a corporate event. You can tag them all in there. And again, when you come into these contact records, you will come in and click, and this right here is going to be all of the actions that they've taken, any conversations. Like I put in a dummy appointment in here. It's showing, my booked event or my booked tour, if that's a thing. All of that goes in here. These fields are entirely customizable. We can add anything in here that you might want. So if you ask questions like about dates or whether or not they're doing a first look or something like that. It can all go in here. Anything you might need for event detailing. And also within this contact record, you have tasks. So this can work like a project management system. You have notes, so these can be internal. If there's stuff you want to communicate internally, it'll add all the appointments in here. It's like this shows that I booked this event on an event calendar. Documents, you can save your contracts, your invoices, any event detailing forms. Those all go in there. Payments, obviously, that's really important. So this is essentially a full contact record that shows you everything about this client and their event. Also super helpful. Contact source also, this will show you where they came from. So if the very first place that this person ever interacted with you was on Facebook or they found you on Google, it's going to show up there. So it's a great way to track where leads are coming from, how they're finding you, and we can even pull reports on, contact source. Where did everybody come from this month? So really great for, kind of evaluating your marketing and what's working and what isn't. Opportunities. So these are your pipelines. There are two ways to look at this. This is kind of a Kanban style drag and drop. And then you can also look at it just as a list as well. These are drag and drop. So somebody does an inquiry, they come here, now they've got a tour scheduled. All of this can be workflowed. You can manually move them around as you need to, but it's also, we can set it up to where, once they've scheduled a tour on the calendar, it automatically puts them under tour scheduled. So you don't have to do that manual work. My goal is to set it up to be as automated as possible so you can do less work in the system and more, actually running your venue, marketing your venue, whatever it is that you need to be doing. So these are your opportunities. We can set up multiple pipelines. So if you, maybe you want a pipeline specifically for just corporate events, you want one just for weddings, you want one for tours, we can set all of that up and you can move, people around within whatever pipeline you've got them in. So again, great way to make sure nobody's falling through the cracks. Hey, they scheduled a tour, but then they never followed up. Well, you can have your salesperson come in here and, check this tour scheduled and see who we need to follow up with. Again, I would want to workflow that as much as possible, automate it for you, but there are, that's how you would use it manually. Payments. So this can replace any kind of e-signature payment system, anything that you're already using, this can completely replace it. So within this, you've got documents and contracts. You can also do proposals in here. If you send something like that, you can send that from here. It's got easy e-sign capability, and your invoices you can set up to do on workflows as well. So if you charge a deposit, which I assume you do, you can set it up so that it charges the deposit and then it automatically reminds them when that final balance is due. Or if you've got a security deposit that also, 30 days before your event, that you can all workflow so you don't have to keep track of those. And you can also set up the internal notifications. So if somebody isn't paying their final balance, you can get those internal notifications so that you can hound them or, whatever you might need to do to get that done. Great invoicing system, great documents and contract system. You can keep it all in one place. And this integrates with Stripe and Square. And we can also do custom payment providers. So if for some reason you're using something different, we can integrate that as well. But natively, it very easily integrates with Stripe and Square, Stripe kind of being the default, but either one works great. You can send payment links as well. So you can text a payment link, something that makes it easier for you. You can set that up in here. So full accounting management. The only thing is it does integrate with QuickBooks, so there's no expense tracking in here, but otherwise your incoming revenue, it's all done through here. Okay, so that is everything on the CRM side, your operations side. Now we're going to look at the marketing side. Under marketing, you've got a social planner. You can connect to any of these social accounts, all of them at once. So Pinterest, Facebook, also your Google business profile, which is super important for venues. If you haven't really well optimized your Google business profile, I'm begging you to do that. That is the best way to get in the local map pack, which is where most of the clicks goes these days. So once you connect your Google business profile to this, any updates that you do, like if you put stuff on social media, or if you want to announce like a special reduced deposit, something like that, it can go directly to your Google business profile. And those updates, those constant updates on Google business profiles are really powerful and really help boost you in the rankings on Google. So this is another feature that I really want to call attention to, because it can make a big difference in your visibility on the Google end. All of your socials right here, very easy to use. I'll show you in a different account in just a minute how easy it is to post to multiple platforms at once. But since it's a demo account, I don't have it linked to anything. Emails, same thing. You have in here a full, robust email platform. We can integrate with Gmail, with Outlook, anything like that you're using, or you can use the built-in email server, which is really better if you're sending a significant amount of volume. It's got better send rates and stuff like that, so it's usually what I recommend. But you can set up campaigns in here. There are tons of templates in here. I have set up a significant amount of workflows and templates for things like tour bookings, for, if you're a pre-launch venue and you're generating a list ahead of time, I've got that in there, information requests, stuff for, post-event follow-ups, review requests, things like that. So I've built out a lot of those templates to be really easy to plug and play, but there's also just a super robust template system in here. So tons of options, tons of things in here if you don't want to use the ones I've already built out in there. So that's emails. The rest of these I don't think are wildly important. There's brand boards, is exactly what it sounds like. You can customize with your colors, your logo, so that you're not having to reproduce those colors every time. It's just kind of a picker, so super easy there. Automations. So this is where the real power is. And like I said, I like to automate as much as possible. So all of these workflows are ones that I have already built out and are already ready to just plug and play. So lead sources in particular, these are all connected. So like this is a Google My Business message. So if somebody sends you something from your Google business profile, it is going to pull them into here. We can set up responses. Same thing with Facebook Messenger. It's going to pull them in, add them to that contact record. Instagram DM. So all of these, I've already built these out. This doesn't come natively if you get Go High Level on your own. So all of these are pre-built out. They're meant for venue workflows. So super easy to plug and play. Same thing, appointment workflows. I have all the tour bookings and reminders and things like that set up. And then the specific tour or venue workflows that I've already talked about, things like, post-event review requests and things like that. So already all built out for you, really going to reduce the learning curve here and the onboarding time, because most of it's already kind of done for you. All right, so that's automations. And these workflows, when I tell you can do anything with these workflows, the amount of options and things that you can add is so robust, it's almost a little overwhelming. So I've tried to boil it down to what's really important and what you need. But if you are wanting more, there are a ton of ways that we can further build out those automations and really make this as hands-off as possible. Okay, so sites. So this is kind of everything really falls under sites. I'm not sure why, but under here, you can put your funnels. So if you run like a paid ad campaign and you've got a funnel for that, if you have different pages, and you should, for different types of events like weddings and then corporate and reunions, stuff like that, you can build them all out as funnels. You can also build out a full website in here, and it can be hosted on this platform. You don't have to pay for WordPress, Squarespace, Wix, any of those other tools. It can all be built right in here, and it's a really simple drag and drop builder. It's not hard to use, and you can eliminate any other website subscription that you've got. It does integrate with WordPress, so if you already have a WordPress website and you want to move it and host it in here, we can do that. It's $15 a month, which is cheaper than most of the WordPress hosting out there. But if you want something simple and user-friendly, the website is really kind of the way to go, in my opinion. You can host webinars through here. I don't know how relevant that's going to be. Analytics, it's going to track all of your page views and show you everything, how your funnels are performing, how your website pages are tracking. So that's really important. There's a native blog feature. The blogs are really super simple, easy to use, easily attached to the website or WordPress. So you can set these up in here, run your blog, and then client portal. I think this is probably another one that's really relevant. So we can essentially set up a portal for your clients. So if you want to keep all of their documents in one place, all of their event timelines, you can do that by setting up these branded portals, and it can look completely customized to your venue. So the login screen will look like they're logging into your website or your venue portal, and then everything that they need, you can put into that portal. There's a messaging feature, all sorts of stuff that you can do to kind of elevate that client experience and keep it all in one, space for you as well. Forms. And there's 3 different ones here. So there's forms, surveys, and quizzes. Quizzes might not be super relevant here. Forms certainly is. If you're collecting lead information, if you want to send event detailing, I have a really detailed event detail form where you're asking, questions about, bridesmaids and introductions and cake cutting times and things like that. All of that can go in here as a form and be sent to the client. They fill it out, comes back, and now it's populating in the CRM and in that contact record. So again, easy way to manage everything. Super robust forms. I'll show you what these look like. They are drag and drop builders. You can customize everything about the way this looks. You can add in all of these pre-built options, or you can add in custom fields. So if there's something specific you ask that's out of the norm or that you want to know, easy to add to your form. So these are great. They do have conditional logic, so you can really get robust with these if you want to. And surveys, these are great for post-event surveys, things like that. So if you want to send something after the fact, how was your experience, things like that, we can set that up in surveys as well. And then chat widget. If you don't already have a chat widget on your website, these are extremely valuable. It cuts down on your manual outreach and responses, but also when you put a chat widget on your website, the longer that somebody engages with your website and the longer they spend on it, which they're going to do if they're chatting with a web chat bot, that contributes to your SEO. That contributes to, we call it lag time on your website. And that is going to boost your rankings because it shows that people are engaging with your website. They're staying on it. So I highly recommend having one of these. These can pull availability from your calendar. It can answer questions. It can send pricing information. We can really build these chat widgets out to know anything you want it to know about your venue and really be a robust, essentially extra team member. So these are great. Highly recommend putting one of these on your website if you don't already have one. Okay. And then memberships. This is your client portal. We've kind of already been here. We do have courses and communities in here, probably not relevant for venue owners and operators, but it's good to have too, in case you ever do, want to put together a little 101 on your event day or something like that. You can make a little course for it. Lots of options there. Really robust media storage, does connect directly to Drive, so you can store everything you need in here. And then reputation management. Obviously, you probably already know that Google reviews, any kind of reviews are, the key to ranking high, really important to consumers. So this can all be really automated. When somebody moves from, post-event and they move out of that stage in the pipeline, it can automatically send that review request. Not only that, but once you've sent it, we can set it up to automatically respond. If you're not responding to your reviews already, please start doing that. Google looks for not only your reviews, but you engage back with them. So even a thank you so much, we loved having you, something like that. Just short and sweet, but those interactions are really going to help elevate your brand and your business as well. By automating that, we can do it by if they give you 5 stars, it's a thanks, we loved having you. If it's 1 star, we can, put together a workflow sequence to reach out. Hopefully we're not getting those, but we can set it to be really conditional based on the type of review, certain things that they mention. So great reputation management in here. This is really powerful. Reviews are everything, so you're definitely going to want, to make use of that. And then reporting. These, we can build custom reports. So if there's something specific you want to see, if you've got multiple salespeople for your venue and you want to be able to see who's converting better, who's booking more tours, we can set something like that up. We can set up Google ad reports in here, Facebook ad report. These attribution reports are where the revenue is coming from. So if you have multiple spaces and you want to see where the money is coming from, is it coming from decor packages? Is it coming from the event space? You can set all that up. And then appointment report too. I think this is really relevant. You can see, the breakdown of the number of tours you booked and then the number of conversions from that, or no shows and stuff like that. So appointment is really relevant too. That is kind of all of the main primary tools. Again, there are thousands of features in here. It is almost an overwhelming platform at times, which is why I have really boiled it down to what you need for venue management and tried to make it as simple as possible. And then if you want to make it more robust, we can. But otherwise, if there are features that you just don't need and don't want, you just leave them alone. We can even turn them off if it feels overwhelming. I typically set these up for you specifically because I think that really reduces that learning curve and that time to learn it for you. It is a very user-friendly platform once it's properly set up, but the initial integrations and hooking up your domain and all that can be a little troublesome. So I typically always do an onboarding and take care of all of that for you. And then that way, by the time I hand it over to you, it is ready to be used. And that's the goal. And then I always do a little kind of onboarding session with you one-on-one, make sure you know where everything is, tweak anything. But the goal is to hand you a usable system without you having to get into the weeds of all the tech stuff on the back end. So that is kind of the overview of the whole system. Right now, I am doing a kind of special on onboarding where I'm charging you $1,500 to do the onboarding. That's everything set up for you. If you need a landing page built out, if you need forms built out, if you need workflows built out, all of that done for you. And then that includes your platform access for the entire year. So once you've paid that, you pay nothing else for the first year. And that's because I want it to be usable for you when you get it in your hands. So you're paying nothing else for that first year. And then after that, it rolls to $100 a month. And that should be extremely, less expensive than piecing together a bunch of other different tools. It's certainly lower than some of the bigger names out there. And the goal is really just to make this approachable and usable for venue owners. And one thing I didn't mention too is that the tracking on everything that's in here is so much better than you're going to get with other CRMs or with Squarespace, Wix, stuff like that. So if you are running paid ads, using this system is going to reduce your cost per lead. It's going to reduce your spammy leads because the tracking is so good. I can easily set up conversions API if you're familiar with that, if you're running ads, and that just lowers your cost per acquisition, your cost per lead, cost per click, all of those things. So, and it's significant. It's like by 30%. So if you are running ads, this is going to more than cover what you are wasting in ad spend, essentially. So just something I want to mention because I really get nitty gritty on ad tracking, and this is the best system to provide that data so you get the best results from your ad spend. So that's it. That's kind of the platform. I am happy to do private one-on-one demos with you, show you around, answer any questions. I'm in Susan's group, so you can find me there. And I'd love to get you set up on this because I truly do think that this is the best option for running a venue in 2025, and I want it to be simple and usable. The tech in the event industry has been a little behind for a while, so I'm trying to kind of bridge that gap and get us up to speed to where some of the other industries are. So that's it.
Awesome. Jenna, thank you so much. That was awesome. So I just wanted to, I've been over here fiercely writing down some questions because, and I've been using Go High Level since 2018. And
Okay.
I can tell you it has really like
Oh yeah.
blossomed. And
Oh yeah.
I haven't been in the weeds of it very much for
Yeah.
a long time. In fact, in the very beginning, we were using the opportunities feature, and we had it automated where once that lead came for a tour, they took the tour, it was moving down the columns, which was really great. And then we kind of just got away from it, and we really have only been using it for our lead management. I'm really excited to see, because I've seen on the dashboard when I do have to go into it, which
Yeah.
is, I'm trying to like, I don't want to go
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's overwhelming
It
because
can be. Yeah.
it's so much there now. And I'm
Yep.
seeing all these features and I'm like, wow. So Kristen and I have been talking about it because I've been using 17 Hats forever for my project management. We love it. We're used to it. It's really hard to let go of
It
those
is.
platforms that you're
Yeah.
so used to and comfortable with.
Yep.
So I love the fact that you just take everybody under your wing. You've already put it all together for us because that's so important. It's just, and as new features roll out, we don't know, not
Right.
having, the tech background.
Right.
We're venue owners, wedding planners. We're those people. We're not
Yep.
on the tech side of it. So
Absolutely.
we don't want to spend a lot of time in the weeds, as you put it, trying to figure out, hey, how do I connect this? How do I use that? How do I make it do that? I
Right.
know I've already blown your phone up, with I'm trying to do this and I can't get it to
Yeah.
do that, because I just want to do what I do
Yeah.
best, leave this nitty gritty stuff to you.
Yeah.
But I love that Go High Level they have stepped up their game over the years. And like I said, I haven't really been keeping up with it because we're so busy running our businesses that, as these new features come out, and I got all the, emails, oh, we got this coming out, but who has time to read all that? And then if we do read it, we're really not understanding that, and
Sure.
we don't know how to make it work.
Sure.
So I love what you've done and what you've put together. So real quick, before we
Yeah.
run out of time, I had a couple of questions.
Yeah.
One was about the calendar,
Yes.
because we use the tour calendar and then we have it integrated with Google calendars. So
Yep.
we have the different calendars, like the tour and the event and all those things. One of my questions is, because like on the Google side, I can see the tours, I can see the weddings, I can see, everything on one page. Does it have that capability, or do you have to go
Yep.
into the separate?
Yep. I think I
calendar?
didn't click into appointment list view, but that's all
Okay.
in here. So yeah, I've got 2 dummy ones in here, but you can see like this says tour, this is a booked event. It shows you which calendar it's on, and you can customize this list. So you can sort it however you want to sort it. It shows you when it's canceled too, so you can follow up with those, and you can create the smart list. So if you want a list of only wedding bookings, if you want a list of only corporate bookings, you can do all of that. But yes, you can pull these all into one list so you can see what's coming up, how many tours you've got that week, that kind of thing. And you can also pull that to the dashboard also. So if you want to very clearly see on the dashboard how many tours, how many events you have that week, you can pull that there as well.
Yeah, that's great. The dashboard is great. And that's something that I don't utilize enough, is going in and looking at the dashboard. But there's a wealth of information on there as well.
There it is.
Say we're out and about or whatever, and we don't want to go into the app to schedule a tour, or, we just want to put something on the calendar. Does that integrate over from the Google side, or do you have to go into?
Oh, it does. We can two-way sync it with any of your calendars.
Okay.
So if you add it to Google, it can add to the high-level calendar and vice versa. And I didn't even talk about the mobile app. So we're looking at the desktop version today, but there is a mobile app for all of this, and it has your conversations. It has all of the things. It's not great for like obviously creating forms or editing your website, but anything in this kind of top category up here, your conversations, your appointments, can all be done on the mobile app. So it can give you, again, instead of having to go to Facebook to check your DMs and Instagram to check your DMs and check your email, you can do it all in one spot from that one app, which I think is just a huge time saver as well.
Yeah, that definitely is. And I love that they've got that all connected now too.
Yes.
Because I can even see the Facebook DMs coming through on the app now. So it makes it a lot easier. Can you talk just a little bit about the text messaging feature to it? Because I think that is a huge deal in this day and age. Everybody's texting. Hardly anybody's looking at their emails so much anymore. So tell us a little bit about how that works and what the advantage is to venue owners.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this has a complete phone system, both phone, text, all of it. This is all in settings where I'm at right now. But in this phone numbers, we can set up, let me go to like a live one. We can set up either a local number, which is what I would recommend for a venue typically, or an 877 and 800 number if that's something that you want. But for a venue, I would recommend you have a local number with your local zip code. But in here, so we can take this phone number. So this is one for a client that I signed up through here. It's extremely cost effective. I think it's like $1.60 a month. It's very cheap. And we can do a few things. So we can forward calls. So if you want it forwarded directly to a cell phone or an existing phone number you have, we can do that. Or if you want to have it go directly into the Lead Connector app or into the system, we can leave it that way. We can set things like incoming call timeouts, things like that. You can set the voicemail from here. So we can put a customized voicemail in here. And then this one in particular is what we call A2P 10DLC compliant. And that means that you can send bulk text messages. That is a legal requirement now for any phone number where you're sending a bulk text message, and it has to have the compliance things like stop to unsubscribe, or it has to, list your business name and stuff like that. But you can send bulk text from the system. You can also workflow them. So again, I always recommend that for tour booking. I want them to get a text reminder maybe an hour before. It depends on your particular venue, but text message is the highest conversion opportunity that there is in 2025. Used to be email, not text. So I want you to use this for texting for that exact reason. And again, we can set up the missed call text back. We can set up, the voicemail. We can even set it up to workflow in a way that, so somebody calls, they get the voicemail, they get, the text, the missed call text back, and then it can even, start a workflow that puts them on the pipeline, so you can get them emails, stuff like that. So, the fact that it all works together here is what makes this whole system so powerful. And so, yes, bulk texting in here, and then individual texting too from the phone number. So if you've got this phone number and you're in your contact or conversations, let's go to contact. So if I wanted to, I could start a new conversation with someone, and I can, there we go. See if I can do that. Nope. Want to get out of that. Okay, so down here, you can send an SMS directly from this platform, and you can do that via the desktop app or via the mobile app. So if you need to just text a client, you can do that from here. You don't have to use your personal phone. You don't have to keep up with that. So that's a huge benefit as well. And WhatsApp is supported too. I haven't found that many people using WhatsApp for venues, but it certainly can be if that's important to someone.
Yeah, and I don't really see any reason why you would need to use WhatsApp, because it's all right there in the app on your phone.
Exactly.
And the notifications come through just like it does on, a regular text message.
Exactly.
And you can see that it's coming from the Go High Level platform. So it's coming in for your business. So that's what I love about it. You don't have to have, You don't have to go to a separate spot, not for
Right.
your appointment setting, or if you're already working in your Google Calendar. And the reason I brought that up is because
Yeah.
I've got 5 Google Calendars, unfortunately.
And we can set all those up as conflict calendars as well. So if that's something that's happening for whatever reason, then you can immediately, sync it all to the one tour calendar, the one event calendar, whatever it might be that you're using. And that way you're never double booking anything.
Yeah. So yeah, this is what I've been looking for all these years. And I know, Jenna, I had shared with you where I had, tried to work with, can't think of the name of it right now. It's left my mind because they kept saying they were going to do the text messaging and, the bookkeeping and everything. So really what I see with this platform is it is replacing your project management systems like HoneyBook, 17 Hats. None of them have the two-way text messaging, which is super important. The project managing, I know there's some out there, like especially planners use that have, like the planning pod, that have the drawings and things like that.
Yep.
It's not going to replace those kinds of softwares, but just for your everyday management, client management, lead management, project management, onboarding, invoicing. I mean, it's all there. And it integrates with your QuickBooks, which I think the majority of people are using QuickBooks.
Yep.
You also had told me that it also integrates with, is it Xero?
It's Xero and also Wave. If anybody uses Wave,
Wave is another really popular one, I think.
Yep.
So, but yeah, it's great. Kristen, did you have any questions for Jenna about the system? Because Kristen's the one that's basically 17 hats right now.
I didn't. I'm looking forward to we're moving over to this system. So I'm looking forward to when we get it done and being able to go in and play and figure it all out. And
so I love what, you're doing, Jenna, as far as you've already pretty much mapped out, like you said, you've gone in and you've set it up with the templates and all of those things for venues and event planners, specifically for this type of business. So if anybody's out there that's listening, if you're a DJ or you're a baker or anything, this can actually be used for any business.
It can.
It can be customized for any business. So I had a lady contact me today. I don't think she's on here, but she has a VRBO, and I don't know if she's looking into maybe thinking about doing businesses, but she was interested in that. So I don't know if she's like looking into doing weddings but I did tell her, it is customizable for really any kind of business. So even if you've got accommodations on your site for the weddings, you can communicate, you can advertise, you can do all those things through your social media and track all of those things as well. So, great.
It is it is the most robust system out there. It truly is. And
I like that you've narrowed it down.
I try to keep it simple.
Yeah, because it can definitely be overwhelming. Let me just see if there's anything else. Oh, I love that you brought up about the ads, how that kind of streamlines everything and saves you on that cost per click. I didn't know that. So
makes such a difference. I run a lot of ads for clients, and I can show you the difference in the data between something running on high level and one that's not. It makes such a difference. Truly, like, it's going to pay for itself in just reduced ad spend.
I did have one other question. You mentioned the inventory calendar. So is that something that you can add pictures, because I know we have linens and we have lanterns and different things like that. Is it like a gallery they could go in and choose, or is it just from the owner side an inventory of tracking kind of thing?
On the calendar side, it's more for tracking, but there's two ways that we could do that within the system. So there is it's an e-com store essentially. It's just like Shopify that's built into this. You could set it up in that way to where it's called products. So we could set up products for them to pick and choose. So you could definitely do it that way. You could also do it with a landing page and set it up to be like a part of your site. I've got a client, a venue that has like a hidden page on their site. And after they book, then we send them to the hidden page to select their add-ons. But I would probably just do it as a product. So let me see if I can find that.
Yeah, that's something that I always wanted to do on the website, but it was overwhelming.
Yeah. So it's over here.
All the pictures and the photos in there and, a system to be able to track it or whatever.
Yeah, so it's in payments and it's under products. And so you can do inventory in here. You can set up, products specifically. These are all mine, but you can set up these products and then we could put all the products on, like a little storefront, if you will, for them to choose from. And then we could automate it in a way that like if they selected that and it went through their contact record, it could take it out of your inventory on the calendar. That could be workflow.
Cool. Very good. Let me see. You answered the question about Stripe and Square. I think that's all I had as far as the questions, those two about the calendars. Great. All right. Well, can you tell the listening audience how to get in touch with you? Your email address?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can reach me directly. It's Jenna, Jenna, at maverick-events.com.
Are you able to drop it in the chat?
I can. I don't know if that will pull to the recording or not, but I will do that. And then also the website for this particular version is meetbrandwave.com. So I'll put that in there as well.
Okay.
So, and you can book a demo with me personally really easily on there. So I'll put both of those in the chat. And obviously, like I said, I'm in the group. You can DM me. I'm pretty easy to find. And I'm happy to answer questions, do private demos, whatever we need to do.
Yeah. So it popped up on the screen. So hopefully,
cool.
Yeah, hopefully it'll show up in the recording. So
yeah, cool.
All right. Well, I guess if Kristen doesn't have any questions, I'm good. I love it. And I'm excited to see, how it all comes together.
Yeah, it's exciting. So yeah, looking forward to talking to anybody else who wants to try to figure it out for theirs.
Yeah. And especially if you're a new venue, I know, and even a new planning business, this really is the way you want to go. I know I see on the chat all the time in the Facebook group, people asking questions about this platform, that platform. Look, guys, this does it all. And do yourself a favor. After being in the business for 12 years, I've used all of these different softwares. I've tried them all out. I've tried to piece them all together and make, the one altogether. SuiteDash. That's the thing. I can't remember. I was trying to put together SuiteDash to do something very similar to what you're doing. And that's how I met you, was when I saw what you were doing. I said, that's what I was trying to do it. And I gave up because I'm not that techie person. And they did not have the tech support. So that's another really important thing, guys, is when you get on these platforms, you need somebody, you need a team. Jenna has a team of people that can help. If something breaks, you don't want to wait 3 days, send an email. You can't call someone on the phone. You can't text them. You have a personal face in Jenna and her team to be able to go in and fix a problem. Or if you have a question, she's got your back. So yay for that.
Yes. We provide thorough support on this. And I also put notifications to our internal team on workflows. So if a workflow breaks, and that happens, right? Like stuff gets disconnected, I get alerts. So we try to be proactive about fixing those before, you even notice. So that's another thing that I think is really helpful that you don't typically get with, some of the bigger systems out there.
Right. And the fact that you can also manage the website for folks, build it, manage it. I mean, really the only thing this is missing is the bookkeeping and the fact that it integrates that's not a big deal because it does integrate and works well. They talk
Yep.
to each other well. So you can have it literally all in one.
Absolutely.
And that is just amazing. So thank you so much, Jenna.
Yeah,
I
thank
really
you.
appreciate your time and coming on and sharing with the group. And I'm going to go ahead and send this out to the ones that want it. And then I'm going to, I think once it processes through, I will maybe edit it and short it and post it on the Facebook page.
That sounds great.
All right. Well,
All
thank you
right,
so
thanks,
much.
Christy. Yeah.
All right. Take care.
Bye. You too.
Bye.